engine overhaul tools, equipment, and materials. This lesson specifies the competencies required to service and repair vehicle engines. It helps learners understand the tools and equipment such as spanners, torque wrenches, straight edges, and valve spring compressors which are used in engine maintenance. It also highlights instruments like telescopic dial gauges, feeler gauges, Vernier calipers, and micrometer screw gauges for precise measurements. Through the lesson, learners will understand the purpose of specialized tools such as scan tools, dial indicators, engine compression gauges, and piston ring squeezers that are used for specific engine diagnostics and repairs. The lesson also covers essential materials like oil, coolant, cleaning materials, and radiator pressure testers for maintaining engine performance. Welcome, and we start our lesson with tools called spanners. The spanner is a handheld tool used to provide grip and tighten or loosen fasteners. It gives a mechanical advantage in applying torque to turn objects. The tool is used in turning rotary fasteners like nuts and bolts. Torque wrench. A torque wrench is a tool used specifically to adjust nuts and bolts. It offers additional leverage for tightening difficult and hard-to-reach parts, making it a go-to piece for auto mechanics, electronics specialists, and machinery repair professionals. Straight edge. A straight edge or straight edge is a tool used for drawing straight lines or checking their straightness. If it has equally spaced markings along its length, it is usually called a ruler. Straight edges are used in the automotive service and machining industry to check the flatness of machined mating surfaces. Valve spring compressor. A valve spring compressor apparatus and method for compressing cylinder valve springs for the removal and installation of their locks or keepers, and for replacement of valve stem seals or broken springs on an internal combustion engine, while the cylinder head is mounted on the engine or supported on a workbench. Pliers. Pliers are a hand-operated tool for holding and gripping small articles or for bending and cutting wire. Slip joint pliers have grooved jaws, and the pivot hole in one member is elongated so that the member can pivot in either of two positions in order to grasp objects of different size in the most effective way. Telescopic dial gauge. Telescoping gauges are indirect measuring devices used to measure the internal diameter of a bore, hole, groove, slot, etc. This T-shaped tool consists of a handle, two telescopic rods, and a locking screw. There are telescopic gauges with two plunging telescopic rods and others with only one. Feeler gauge. A feeler gauge is used to measure or set very small gap, normally under 1 millimeter. When the blades are folded back into the handle, the thin, delicate blade are protected. The thickest possible blade that can be inserted into a gap or crack shows its width. Vernier calipers. A vernier caliper is usually used to measure the diameter of circular objects. The circular jaws of the vernier caliper fit perfectly on the circumference of round objects. Vernier caliper consists of two scales, the main scale which is fixed, and a moving vernier scale. The main scale has readings in millimeters. Micrometer screw gauge. The micrometer screw gauge is used to measure even smaller dimensions than the vernier calipers. The micrometer screw gauge also uses an auxiliary scale which is marked on a rotary thimble. Ratchet. A ratchet is a mechanical device that allows continuous linear or rotary motion in only one direction while preventing motion in the opposite direction. Ratchets are widely used in machinery and tools. The word ratchet is also used informally to refer to a ratcheting socket wrench. Scan tools. An automotive scan tool, scanner, is an electronic tool used to interface with, diagnose, and, sometimes, reprogram vehicle control modules. Dial indicator. Dial and dial test indicators are used for precise comparisons or measurements of workpiece surfaces, machine, equipment, part tolerances, alignment of your machine's components, or the general deviation of any object from an expected standard. Engine compression gauges. A compression check is a handy test to run on any engine you don't know the history of or suspect a problem with. It can tell you if the compression of your motor is down due to worn piston rings, defective valves and seats, or a blown head gasket. Piston ring squeezer. The piston ring compressor is a special tool that is specifically designed for compressing the piston rings when a piston is reinstalled. This is accomplished by opening the piston ring compressor enough so that the piston will slide into the opening. Timing light. A timing light is a stroboscope used to dynamically set the ignition timing of an autocycle or similar internal combustion engine equipped with a distributor. Modern electronically controlled passenger vehicle engines require use of a scan tool to display ignition timing. Oil. In a nutshell, engine oil lubricates your engine's moving parts to reduce the damaging friction that reduces performance. Driving with low oil levels can significantly reduce the life of your vehicle. Clean oil also prevents the buildup of sludge, which can clog the narrow oil passages in your engine. Radiator pressure tester. Pressure testing is essential for ensuring your vehicle is running optimally. If leaks are present, this can lead to engine overheating, leaving you stranded waiting for a tow truck. Funnels and draining pans. The funnel drains receive the condensate, drip, or wastewater directly from indirect waste lines. The funnel prevents any type of splash and directs the waste into the drain. The exposes great portion works as drainage for any type of floor waste. Cleaning materials. Maintaining a clean car is essential for many reasons. It makes a vehicle look nicer, but it can also help protect the interior from wear and tear. That's why it's essential to have a car cleaning kit on hand. Plastigauge. Plastigauge is a measuring tool used for measuring plane bearing clearances, such as in engines. Other uses include marine drive shaft bearings, turbine housing bearings, pump and pressure system bearings, shaft end float, flatness and clearance in pipe flanges and cylinder heads, wherever it is required to determine the separation between hidden surfaces. Coolant. The basic function of a car coolant is to provide a safe and unheated environment for the engine to reside and function in. Without a coolant, the engine might end up overheating, which can cause serious damage to your vehicle. Coolants prevent the temperature from reaching unhealthily high temperatures. Thank you.